Just hours before the presidents of East Africa begin a crucial meeting in Arusha, Tanzania, experts are warning that inequality in the region could threaten the future of the East African community. Former Secretary General Juma Mwapachu says the presidents must urgently address the growing gap between the countries and their people. KTN's Joe now reports from Accra, Ghana, where a continental conference on inequality got to a second day today.
Arusha all is set for the 12th extraordinary session of the East African community that is due to make key decisions, including that on whether or not to admit the troubled nation of South Sudan. But on the west coast of Africa, some delegates at a Pan-African conference are flagging a less talked about issue about the state of the East African community, the growing inequality not just within the member countries but also between the countries.
And I come from Tanzania.
Juma Mwapachu is a former Secretary General of the East African community, and he says growing inequality between the member countries could pose a real threat to the fledgling union.
You can actually destroy regional integration because then you have zero-sum game issues coming in. Kenya is more developed, Uganda is this, and you will destroy the whole meaning of integration. So you need to address it at regional level. And President Kibaki was very, very clear about this, in terms of the disparity in industrial development, that EAC needed to come up with an industrial policy where you begin to address even location of investments in order to mitigate this zero-sum game mentality.
The fears which perhaps are affecting the quality of interaction between the regional countries needs to be assuaged so that the people of the region can benefit.
Professor Tandika Mkandawire teaches at the London School of Economics. He says regional integration has to go beyond economics.
If you have a right to go to school in Tanzania and you go to Kenya, you have a right to go to school in Kenya. Just give an example. And that you enjoy, if you have a pension in Malawi, you should be able to transfer it with you when you go to to another. Your rights should be move with you.
Now, the East African community is just one of the many regional blocs in Africa, but the discussion on equality now seems to cut across all of them, because in the words of one delegate here, inequality seems to be the gridlock in Africa's development. Jogeo, KTN, Accra, Ghana.